Have you ever finished a meal, felt full for a short moment, and then suddenly noticed that you were hungry again much sooner than expected? Sometimes it happens within an hour, sometimes even sooner. You might find yourself reaching for snacks, opening the fridge again, or thinking about food even though you just ate. This can feel confusing, especially when you know you've already had enough. It raises a natural question. Why does the feeling of hunger return so quickly? Many people assume that hunger is simply a signal that the body needs more food. While that is true in some situations, it does not fully explain why hunger can appear even when energy has recently been consumed. In reality, hunger is influenced by more than just how much you eat. It is shaped by how the body processes food, how energy is regulated, and how signals are sent between the body and the brain. One of the key factors involves how quickly energy levels rise and fall after eating. When food is consumed, especially foods that are digested quickly, energy levels may rise rapidly and then drop just as quickly. This fluctuation can create a renewed sensation of hunger, even if the body has already received enough calories. The experience is not necessarily about a lack of food, but about how stable energy levels remain after a meal. Another factor involves how balanced a meal is. Different types of nutrients are processed in different ways. Some provide longer-lasting energy, while others are used more quickly. When meals are not balanced, the body may not feel sustained for very long. As a result, hunger signals may return sooner, even though the total amount of food consumed was sufficient. The speed of eating can also influence how hunger is experienced. When meals are eaten quickly, the body may not have enough time to register fullness. Signals that indicate satisfaction take time to develop. If eating happens too fast, it is possible to consume a full meal before these signals are fully recognized. This can lead to a mismatch between how much has been eaten and how full a person feels afterward. Sleep is another important factor that often goes unnoticed. When sleep is insufficient or inconsistent, the body's regulation of hunger can change. This can lead to increased cravings or a stronger sense of hunger throughout the day. The effect is subtle but can significantly influence eating patterns over time. Stress also plays a role in how hunger is experienced. In some cases, stress can increase the desire to eat, even when physical hunger is not present. This type of hunger is often linked to emotional or mental states rather than actual energy need. It can feel just as real as physical hunger, making it difficult to distinguish between the two. Hydration is another factor that can influence how hunger is perceived. The body's signals for thirst and hunger can sometimes overlap. When fluid levels are low, the body may produce sensations that feel similar to hunger. This can lead to eating when the body may actually need hydration. All of these factors interact in complex ways. Hunger is not controlled by a single signal, but by a network of processes that respond to both physical and psychological conditions. This is why the experience of hunger can sometimes feel unpredictable. It is not always directly tied to how much food has been consumed, but to how the body is responding to multiple influences at once. Understanding this can change how hunger is interpreted. Instead of viewing it as a simple signal to eat more, it becomes possible to see it as information about how the body is functioning. This shift in perspective can help explain why hunger appears when it does and what might be influencing it beneath the surface. When hunger feels constant or difficult to manage, the solution is often not to simply eat more or less, but to understand the patterns that are influencing it. Small adjustments in daily habits can help create more stable signals, making hunger easier to interpret and respond to in a balanced way. One of the most effective changes involves focusing on how meals are structured. Meals that provide a more sustained release of energy can help reduce rapid fluctuations. This does not require strict rules, but rather an awareness of how different foods affect how long you feel satisfied. When meals are more balanced, the body tends to experience a steadier level of energy, which can reduce the frequency of hunger signals. Eating at a slower pace can also make a noticeable difference. Allowing more time for meals gives the body a chance to register fullness more accurately. This can help align how much is eaten with how the body actually feels, reducing the likelihood of feeling hungry again shortly after eating. Consistency in meal timing can also support more stable patterns. When meals are eaten at irregular times, the body may have difficulty predicting when energy will be available. This can lead to stronger or more frequent hunger signals. Establishing a more regular rhythm can help the body adjust and respond more predictably. Sleep should also be considered as part of this process. Improving sleep quality and maintaining a consistent sleep schedule can support how the body regulates hunger. While the effects may not be immediate, they can influence how hunger feels throughout the day over time. Hydration can be used as a simple tool to support balance. Drinking water regularly throughout the day can help reduce confusion between hunger and thirst signals. This does not eliminate hunger, but it can make signals clearer and easier to interpret. Stress management can also influence how hunger is experienced. When stress levels are reduced, the body is less likely to rely on food as a response to emotional or mental pressure. Creating moments of calm, even briefly, can help separate emotional hunger from physical hunger. Awareness is another important component. Paying attention to when hunger appears, how strong it feels, and what might have influenced it can provide useful insight. Over time, patterns may become more noticeable, making it easier to respond in a way that aligns with actual need. It is also helpful to recognize that not all hunger needs to be responded to immediately. Some fluctuations are temporary and may pass without action. Learning to observe hunger without reacting instantly can create more flexibility in how it is managed. Over time, these adjustments begin to influence how hunger is experienced. The sensation may become less intense, less frequent, and more predictable. Instead of feeling like something that is out of control, hunger becomes a signal that can be understood and responded to with more clarity. Perhaps the most important shift is in how hunger is viewed. Rather than seeing it as a problem, it can be understood as a form of communication. The body is not working against you. It is responding to patterns, and when those patterns begin to change, the signals often change as well.